Hi, welcome to Average Joe Drinks. I'm Eddie Clark.
My name is Vince Davis, and we're here to make some drinks that are suitable for the average Joe.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be making today a Moscow Mule, traditionally served in a copper mug. And Vince, what are you guys making?
I'm going to make a traditional, not a non-traditional sangria. And we'll get into the history behind sangrias. Sangrias are red wine. This is not going to be a red wine, but it's going to be a good modern day sangria.
Absolutely. I'll go first.
Please.
There are 3 ingredients that you're going to have in a Moscow Mule. You're going to have lime juice, big giant bottle of vodka, and ginger beer. You can buy they've got the little green plastic lime juice container you get in the produce section. I don't like that. It's just very easy to squeeze your own lime juice. Make sure it's good quality ingredients, three different ingredients, so we want to make sure we get the best out of it. And I have this little lemon squeezer here, or lime squeezer. It's really easy to do. And you may think you don't need it, but if you look, I don't know if you can tell, but I got just about every bit of that juice out there. If I try to do that with my hand, you're going to leave some juice in there. So it just makes sense to go ahead and use this.
You ever squirt yourself in the eye?
Occasionally, yes. It hurts a lot. Don't do it. You can wear protective gear if you like, but I don't think you need it.
Safety first.
Safety first. Oh, Vince, we have a rule, or at least if we don't have one, we need one. If you're going to make a drink, always make 2. That way you have a friend. If I make a drink just for myself...
You make 2 and then you have a friend? Is the second drink your friend?
It could be. So what I do is I put ice in there first. It's just easier that way when you're pouring ingredients in there, or liquid in there, and if you dump the ice on top, sometimes it can splash around, so it just makes more sense to get the ice in there early. And I don't know if you noticed this, Vince, but we have these copper mugs here. And the Moscow Mule is traditionally served in a copper mug for a couple reasons. When you put the ice in there, if you can feel that, Vince, feel the outside there, it takes on the temperature of the ice, so it's just a really nice, cool feeling.
Like almost instantly.
Yeah, it is.
You just put that in, well, as you saw.
Disclaimer, if you're cleaning these with hot water, it's hot, so be careful. I learned that out the hard way.
That's actually, I wouldn't have thought of that.
I didn't either, obviously. So we're going to put the lime juice in first. It's going to be an ounce of lime juice. And we have these traditional, a jigger and a pony that they use that is not out here, and I'll grab that in a minute and show it to you. And it's kind of cool, but it's very limited in what you can do. This has ounces, it has milliliters, it has tablespoons, so just get yourself one of these. I think our stagehand might be grabbing that now. Okay. So we're going to do, we'll do an ounce for each of lime juice.
While he's doing that, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to set up links so that you're able to buy unusual ingredients, appropriate hardware, all the cool little things that make the experience that much better through our website, averagejoedrinks.com.
And this is what I was talking about. The bigger one is a jigger. The smaller one is a pony. It's fancy, it's nice, it's traditional, but I just think this is just so much easier to use. And there's a guy, I think I can say this, Alton Brown. This is a unitasker. This is a multitasker. Grab this. If I can't say that, then I'll edit it out.
Alton Brown?
Alton Brown from Good Eats.
Oh, I think you can say people's names.
All right, well I just did, so there we go. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of...
If this video disappears off of our YouTube channel, you'll know why.
1.5 ounces of vodka. Again, as I said earlier, we're making it with 3 ingredients. This isn't the most expensive bottle of vodka, but it isn't the cheapest. So you might as well get yourself a decent bottle of vodka. And then lastly, we're putting in ginger beer. There's going to be 4 ounces of ginger beer. Once I find the ounces, there they are. I'm going to pour that in there. And would you mind grabbing a spoon right behind me while I do that, if you don't mind? Because I forgot to get that out. 4 ounces of ginger beer. We're going to mix this up a little bit. Get the best flavor. I'm going to reach over here, excuse me. We're going to slice up lime for a little bit of a garnish. Just slice yourself a little wedge. And I like to cut down the middle there. That way you can fit it on the mug. There you go, Moscow Mule. you, Vince.
Cool.
Give that a try.
These are good. These are underrated. I think a lot of people have never even heard of these drinks, but I think once you've had one, you'll like it.
Very refreshing. It's again it's one of those things that you can sit out at the pool and drink 1 or 6 of them. Just ask my wife. We enjoy them quite a bit. Vince, well, no, one wife. That's all I can handle. Vince, what do you got?
All right. So the next drink we're going to make is a sangria. Sangrias are a mixed drink that have been around for thousands of years, literally. If you look them up, apparently what happened as the ancient Romans were running over Europe, they did not like the local water supply, so they would put wine into the local water to make sure that it was sterile enough to drink. And if the water was bad and the wine didn't quite make it taste any better, then they would add fruit. So sangria is now very much associated with Portugal and Spain, traditionally made out of red wine. When the Spaniards got into Latin America, they brought it with them, and it's made its way up through North America that way. So a lot of people think it's a California thing, making wine coolers on the beach, but realistically, we can thank Julius Caesar for not trusting the local water. So here we go. So anyway, we're going to make ourselves a modern day sangria. We're going to use white wine as opposed to red, and we're going to use a non-traditional mixture of fruit. What I've come up with on this one is raspberries, apples, and oranges. One thing that is important in a sangria for it to taste right is a lot of citrus. The citrus goes well with the grapes. You don't need to have too sophisticated of a wine because the nuances are going to be lost when you mix everything together. And one of the things that we also found out is that they always get better with time. So if you can make it a day ahead, you should. If you're going to use a recipe that calls for some sort of carbonation, a champagne or a ginger beer or a fizzy lemonade, of course you can add that at the last minute. This particular one is not going to take this much time at all. I've already cut up 1 apple. I've got 1 orange. And I've got about a cup of raspberries. Do yourself a favor, wash them. Another trick to something like this is that what you really need to do is add the hard ingredients before you add the soft ingredients. Otherwise you're going to splash yourself with all manner of liquor and alcohol, which is fun at the time, not so great if you get cold on your own when you smell like a sangria.
That's a good point. I mean, it's just a matter of the quality of rum that you're making if you're going to put in sangria.
You know, that's another thing that we found out is that a lighter rum makes the drink taste better. So there are all different levels of rums. There's dark rums, light rums, cheap rums. You want something light, something that's going to be on the more refreshing side. A 151 Bacardi that you can light on fire is probably not the answer.
Not the one you want. Good.
In this one, we're going to use a light white rum. We're going to use about 2/3 of a cup. We're also going to be putting in approximately a quart of lemonade. I'm just using it off the shelf. And a half a bottle of white wine. The wine is what makes it a sangria. You know, one of the things that a lot of people don't seem to understand is sometimes the type of drink is dependent on the ingredient. There's no difference between a daiquiri and a margarita, except for one uses rum, one uses tequila. So you can't really have a sangria unless you have wine. And that is as complicated as it gets. Again, the longer they sit, the better they get. Some people advocate muddling your fruit, which is a matter of mixing it up, smashing it, whatever you want to do. In this instance, we're not doing it.
You want something to muddle with?
Because I'm not a muddlesome kind of guy.
Yeah, we've determined about 2 days, Vince. Is that about how long before it gets the flavor really enhances as much as possible?
Yeah, if you can let it set for 2 days ahead of time, that's when it gets to be at its best. After 3 days, it doesn't really seem to improve anymore. And after 4 or 5 days, regardless of how much alcohol in there, your fruit's going to rot. So try to avoid such things. It's one thing to throw up because you drank too much. It's another thing to throw up because you drank too much rotten fruit. I'm gonna break that. Sangria. And I already told my story of my drink, but you know what we could do? We could tell the story of yours.
So yeah, the Moscow Mule. Like, there was a joke back in, I think it was around the 40s, that people didn't like vodka, so they thought vodka, they said vodka was Russian for gross or disgusting. So someone that manufactured vodka, which is John Martin, and then we had a manufacturer of ginger beer, kind of got together, they sat down in a bar, and they came up with this drink. They marketed it, and it's at that time that kind of vodka really came onto the cocktail scene in America. So I thought that was kind of a smart way to take two ingredients that people didn't really like, put them together, and then you found something that everyone really enjoys.
And vodka's a huge seller now.
Yeah, and it took off. Right in the 50s, people really started to enjoy these drinks. And I do too.
Well, if you want more drinks that are enjoyable, please follow us on YouTube. We have a website at averagejoedrinks.com. The YouTube channel is Average Joe Drinks.
Search for Average Joe Drinks on YouTube. We will fix the URL.
And that's it for now.
That is. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.